kind of seems like a big deal, right? I know we have all these other things going on, but that seems like a really big deal. Joining me now, Lisa Daftari, editor-in-chief of the Foreign Desk. Okay, Lisa, well, our two biggest enemies on the world stage got together and had a little powwow today. Why?
Because they can. I mean, I'm surprised they didn't invite Iran's regime to the mix, but they'll probably invite him at the next gathering. Because they can. That's the short of it, and that's the most important takeaway here, is that weak foreign policy has consequences. This is the image of the consequence of weak foreign policy. What China and Russia, and of course I will add Iran's regime, and you can add North Korea to the list as well, have decided is that they don't need the United States, that they will work around the sanctions, that they will work around the isolation, and they have each other. So we have effectively pushed them into each other's laps. They're working well together, and their most important, I would say, their priority is to really stick it to the Biden administration to let them know. So these optics are not accidental. They're getting together both militarily, they're working together economically, they are selling weapons to each other, and no accidents.
Lisa, I guess, how strong are they together? I know that's kind of a lame, open-ended question, but I want to know, if I'm looking at an Iran, Russia, China, North Korea alliance, I know North Korea is a bit of a turd, but do they together have enough to do some serious things? That sounds pretty formidable to me, but I don't.
You know what? If you look at the very least, right, the minimum here is that they help each other get off the hook. So when we try to, for example, isolate Russia and try to punish them with economic sanctions because of what they're doing in Ukraine, while we give billions and billions of dollars and military equipment to the Ukrainians, what China does is let the Russians off the hook for that. What the Iran regime is doing is selling weapons to Russia then. So what they're basically doing is canceling out what the United States is hoping to do. So what ends up happening here is that we will not see the results we want to see in the Ukraine war. So at the very, very least, we've wasted all this money by putting it into Ukraine and providing them with aid, while Russia is not getting the message. Look, sanctions always come with some sort of behavioral change that we can expect from the other party, right? So when we put the sanctions on Russia or on China or on Iran's regime or Venezuela or North Korea, it comes with that, we need you to do this, and then we will remove the sanctions, because it's some sort of change that we expect and need in terms of national security and global security, etc. In the case of Russia, what we've done is put these sanctions on them, but they are either not well enforced or now being undone by the Chinese and Iran's regime, who are then stepping in to fill that void. What we could effectively have done is to put sanctions on our enemies and then enforce them properly so that they are not able to move around them and evade them the way that our enemies have been able to do.
Support the First TV today and get instant access to exclusive specials like Who is Ron DeSantis, the history of FBI scandals, and America's worst presidents. Visit thefirsttv.com/support or download the First TV app to become a supporter and start watching today.